Is Floyd Mayweather actually broke? That question has been tearing up the internet again, and this time it pulled two of the biggest names in hip-hop right into the middle of it. It all kicked off when Rick Ross was asked point-blank, during one of his live streams, whether he believed the rumors. His answer was fast and firm. No, he doesn't buy it for a second. And before he went any further, he wanted to set the record straight on what's actually true. Here's what we know. Floyd does have real financial trouble on paper. He owes the IRS. He owes money to jewelers. He's had property pawned. For a man who has earned hundreds of millions of dollars across his career, it's a strange headline to see, and now he's reportedly suing people himself, claiming money is owed to him too. But Ross wasn't having it. He told his audience directly that people need to stop repeating rumors they can't back up. In his words, Floyd is worth far more than any article is giving him credit for, and he's tired of seeing the narrative spiral out of control. His point was simple. However much money Mayweather has already made, there's more coming, because he's still, in Ross's eyes, the face of boxing. Naturally, that led to the obvious question. If the money's gone, is that why people think he might step back in the ring? Ross pushed back on that framing too, admitting that yes, the spending habits are real, the lifestyle costs are real, and the overhead is high. But according to him, that doesn't mean the money is actually gone. It just means people call him up for a favor the moment they need cash for a night out. To prove just how confident he is, Ross laid out a hypothetical. If Mayweather ever needed $50 million to make a fight with Gervonta Davis happen, Ross claims he'd put the money up himself and book the stadium. That's how sure he is that Floyd isn't struggling the way people assume. Still, the paper trail tells its own story. A quick search of his name turns up plenty of legal trouble. He owes back rent on property in New York. The IRS has come after him more than once. And it's not hard to see why so many people jump to conclusions. Ross's take was that judging someone's finances from the outside is a mistake. Just because a celebrity isn't flaunting a private jet every week doesn't mean they're broke. It just means they're not performing well for social media that day. Of course, once Floyd's name starts trending, it's only a matter of time before another familiar face jumps in. This time it was 50 Cent. Whenever Mayweather becomes a topic of conversation, fans have come to expect 50 to weigh in, and this time was no exception. In one clip, he was even asked a version of the classic hypothetical. If you saw two people drowning in the ocean, one of them the rapper known as Game and the other Floyd Mayweather, and you could only save one, who would it be? Without hesitation, 50 said he'd save Floyd. Despite everything that's happened between them, he still considers him a brother. That's what makes the story more complicated than a simple beef. 50 explained that he and Floyd have been friends since 2002. At one point, he says he tried to have an honest conversation with him about their public image, telling him they had the wrong messaging, always bragging about burning money just to make more. According to 50, Floyd brushed it off completely. 50 even shared something Floyd once told him about why people watch him fight. It's not to admire his skill. It's because they want to see him lose. Fans boo him the second he's introduced, not because of his talent, but because everything he represents is about money and nothing else. Unlike a fighter like Ali, who stood for something bigger than himself, 50 argues Floyd never gave people anything to root for beyond his bank account. Despite that criticism, 50 insists there's real history and real affection underneath it. He describes staying over at Floyd's house constantly, working out together, spending real time as friends, right up until he came back from a vacation and discovered Floyd had launched his own boxing promotion instead of bringing him in as a 50-50 partner like they had once discussed. Around the same time, 50 posted a message on Instagram that immediately caught fire online. He wrote that if Floyd needed money, he should just call him, joking that things had gotten so messy the feds were now looking for him, but that he wasn't mad anymore and still loved him. It read like a mix of a joke and a real jab, and it spread everywhere within minutes, with fans debating whether he meant it as a laugh or as a real dig at Floyd's situation. 50 also touched on something more personal, saying he genuinely worried about Floyd during hard times, visiting him more than almost anyone else considered a friend would. Part of his concern came from knowing how Floyd operates. He tends to keep people close by doing things for them financially, which makes it hard to know who's really there for him versus who's there for what he provides. Ross, meanwhile, had his own message for anyone questioning what it actually takes to reach that level of wealth. He pointed out that the kind of money people associate with Mayweather doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of starting training at 4 years old, skipping birthday parties, spending holidays doing 3-a-day workouts, and getting pushed harder than most people could imagine. In his view, if you want that lifestyle, the palm trees and the mansion behind you, you have to put in work most people never see. The back and forth between 50 and Floyd isn't new. It's been building for years, full of public jabs, social posts, and interviews where each one takes a shot at the other. So when 50's latest post hit the internet, nobody was shocked. They just wanted to know what it meant this time. Ross, for his part, kept defending Floyd throughout the stream, arguing that successful people are constant targets for online speculation, and that headlines rarely capture the full picture. That only added fuel to the debate, with supporters on both sides sharing screenshots and reactions across every platform. Then more legal trouble surfaced. Reports emerged that Mayweather is now facing a lawsuit from a Miami jeweler claiming he owes more than $1 million for luxury watches and chains. According to the filings, he purchased dozens of pieces last year worth over $1.5 million, but only paid a fraction of that, with several checks reportedly bouncing. That case follows a separate claim out of New York over hundreds of thousands in unpaid rent on a Manhattan penthouse, along with another jewelry dispute playing out in federal court in South Florida. Despite all of it, Mayweather is still reportedly scheduled for a rematch in the ring later this year. Ross's response to all of this was consistent. He said there's no solid proof behind the broke narrative, and that social media has a habit of repeating rumors so often they start to sound like established fact, even when nobody actually knows what's happening behind closed doors. He went a step further, explaining that if Floyd ever needed serious money fast, for a fight, a business deal, whatever it might be, there are people around him, including Ross himself, who could make that happen almost immediately. In his eyes, someone with Mayweather's connections and reputation isn't in the position that broke internet rumors try to paint him in. His name alone, according to Ross, still carries enormous value in business and boxing alike. Naturally, that sparked another wave of reactions, some fans agreeing that people jump to conclusions too fast, others insisting the speculation won't stop until there's real transparency about his finances. While Ross defended Floyd with total confidence, 50 Cent's approach stayed a lot more sarcastic. Fans quickly noticed the contrast, one man vouching for Floyd's staying power, the other trolling him with jokes about needing a bailout. It made for two very different narratives running at the same time, and social media had a field day comparing them. When asked directly whether he and 50 were on good terms these days, Ross didn't hold back. He said they've never been close, not since day one. Pressed further about the history between them, Ross brought up an old line he used to throw at 50, that despite the success, 50 never really owned his masters and needed Eminem and Dr. Dre to get him there in the first place. Ross, on the other hand, says he built everything himself from the ground up. That history runs deep. The two rappers have traded diss tracks, interviews, and social jabs for well over a decade, including a lawsuit Ross claims he won outright, embarrassing 50 in court over his finances during his bankruptcy filing. Ross brought up the infamous photos 50 posted afterward, pictures of him surrounded by cash, a coffee table made of money, even a sandwich made of bills, all while claiming to be broke. 50's explanation was that most people don't understand the difference between the two types of bankruptcy filings. As if the story needed more layers, reports then surfaced that Floyd's planned exhibition fight overseas in Greece had been canceled, with some outlets tying it to his ongoing legal issues. The exact reasons haven't been confirmed, but it was enough to reignite chatter about his business relationships, especially his long-standing partnership with advisor Al Heyman, the man behind Premier Boxing Champions. That's when old, unverified claims resurfaced online, including a leaked voice recording that's circulated for years, alleging disagreements over who really deserved credit for PBC's success. None of this has ever been confirmed as fact, but it was enough to send fans back through years of history between Floyd, Heyman, and the wider boxing business, with some even suggesting Floyd may have taken credit for work that was actually a team effort. Through it all, Ross kept standing behind Floyd publicly, while 50 kept dropping commentary that left fans with more questions than answers. Some even joke that 50 always seems to know things before anyone else does. Looking back at their history, It's easy to forget that 50 and Floyd were once genuinely close, with real plans to work together in boxing that simply never came together. Some fans now wonder if Floyd would be in a stronger position today had that partnership actually happened. Others say there's no way to know, and it's pure speculation either way. As for the Greece cancellation, some reports point to conflicting promotional agreements, possibly tied to talks around fights with Mike Tyson or Manny Pacquiao, though none of the contractual details have been made public. At the end of the day, nothing about this story is fully confirmed. What is clear is that Rick Ross and 50 Cent have taken completely different paths in this conversation, one defending Floyd with total conviction, the other keeping the jokes and jabs coming. And together they've turned another Mayweather headline into one of the biggest talking points of the week. So where do you land on this one? Do you think Rick Ross is right to stand behind Floyd? Or is 50 Cent onto something the rest of us are missing? Drop your take in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to see it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
And can I say this to the person that's in my DM and say, Rose, you better make better moves and end up like Mayweather? First and foremost, do you actually believe Floyd Mayweather is broke? Do you? Do you? Let me make this clear right now.
Money Mayweather has money problems. He owes the IRS, he owes car dealers, he's pawning jewelry. A guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career is somehow running out of money. And now he's suing everyone, claiming he's owed money.
The internet has been going crazy over Floyd Mayweather again. And this time, Rick Ross decided to jump into the conversation during a recent live stream.
I just said this a few times in my DM. Do I believe Mayweather broke? No. No. Please don't listen to the rumors. Lil' bro is worth way more money than you can imagine. Any of your articles, whatever they coming with. That's Ricky Ross. You know, I'm popping money shit, so y'all got a few questions of other people too, but I'm just saying, y'all should stop the nonsense. Big homie got, and not only that, how much paper Mayweather done made, it's how much more money he gon' get. He gon' get. He is still the face of boxing. Talk about it.
Step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
And it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
I know for a fact Floyd Mayweather not broke because Ricky Rose would give and put 50 million up to Floyd Mayweather, 50 million up to Gervonta Davis, AKA Tank, and I would book the Hard Rock Stadium myself. If Mayweather needed that 50, we can make that happen today.
Just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic.
He owes people lots of money. The IRS just leaned on him again, Fat Joe style, leaned back on him.
Ross pushed back against the growing online rumors that Floyd is somehow broke, making it clear that he doesn't believe those claims at all. According to Ross, people are too quick to judge what they see on social media, and just because someone isn't constantly showing off their lifestyle doesn't mean they're having financial problems. Of course, it didn't take long before another familiar name entered the discussion, 50 Cent. Whenever Floyd Mayweather becomes a trending topic, fans almost expect 50 to have something to say, and that's exactly what happened.
Man, 50 Cent, you're on a raft.
on the raft.
In the middle of the ocean. You look in the ocean, you see two people. You can only pull up one, all right? You look in the ocean, you see Game, and you see Mayweather. Who do you pull up, and who do you leave in the ocean?
I put Floyd up still.
I heard that.
Yeah, still, Biggie still is my bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just, he just did some crazy. He just went crazy.
Because Floyd, we've been friends since 2002. There was a point where I'm looking at things and I'm going, yo, we kind of got the wrong messaging point. Because we're saying we got all the money in the world, we're gonna burn it, we're gonna get it again. So what? When you say change it, he goes, nah, you do that, Five. He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him.
The arena have just shown Floyd Mayweather and they begin to boo immediately.
They don't like him because everything he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money.
I take 30 watches with me.
50. Y'all was friends. Y'all was like y'all was like billionaire brothers and shit like that.
I mean, the thing is this. I'm speaking from the heart.
Yes.
I just never understood where all this came from. 50 be at my house every day. This man sleep at my house. We go to the boxing gym. We kick it. We hang out. We cool. I come home. I went away on a little vacation. I come home, and then when I was on my vacation, I got the newspaper. I seen that it said that he started the TMT promotions. And when I came home, I guess he wanted to become 50-50 part, 50-50, in the boxing business. And my thing was just that
He shared an Instagram post that immediately grabbed everyone's attention. In the post, he wrote, "Damn champ, WTF. If you need some money, just call me. We could have kept this from getting so messy. Now the Fed's looking for you. Love you, bro. I'm not mad at you no more. Call me." The message quickly spread across social media, with thousands of people debating whether it was a joke, trolling, or another chapter in the long-running back and forth between the two.
Anybody who knows Floyd knows he doesn't want to be alone. So in that situation, I was concerned about him because I went to visit him more than anyone else that he would call a friend would actually visit him. And it's because I knew that he like this. He'll buy stuff to keep you around. His temperament, there's no balance. He can do anything and they still stay there because it's like they're
yes man, yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right, I got another question. Said Rose, how hard you gotta go to get that type of money? First of all, what type of money are you talking about? If you talking about that Mayweather type of money, you start training for it 4 years old. That's why Mayweather deserved to go out and party, because dog ain't getting no birthday parties. Christmas Eve, dog was doing 3-a-days. Them old had dog doing uppercuts, 3,000 at a time. Yeah. So what type of money you talking about? You want the 40 feet palm trees behind you? You gotta get up and go hard.
The